is up? RotoGrinders, we got 45 minutes up to lock just a 4-gamer, a baby slate. That's why we're coming on late. Do hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications. Do get your guesses in for it's Fleet Tuesday. And some of you probably never played through. Well, what's Fleet Tuesday? Never played that before. I'm confused. What are the rules? Well, if you played Fleet Thursday, it's the same exact rules, same exact setup, except it's done on a Tuesday. Get your guesses in the Discord. We're going to go ahead and drop that first clue. You got myself, Kirkwood, leader of the Juggalos. Hopefully your birthday went well. I know it was a few days ago. Happy belated birthday.
Does everyone know I had a birthday?
I get maybe Bobby told the people. Somebody put it out there. I don't know.
No, Bobby didn't know.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know until like yesterday, and I talked to him today and forgot to wish him.
I think it was Marie Donese in chat.
Yeah.
Somebody dropped it in chat. The leader of the Juggalos.
Must be Facebook.
There you go. You're still rocking the Facebook. Shout out to you.
He's in that.
How else are you gonna find out who dies? That's you have to keep track of like your old squad, and like if someone dies or whatever,
That's like what it's for, to go on.
That's what it's evolved into. Yeah. But I just go down the reels, too, but which is just the same as Instagram. But
Bobby, also, you guys are born probably like in the same hospital, possibly. I don't know if you're born in the same town or not. Both you guys
not even close.
Not even close. I don't know. Close enough. Maybe not. Bobby, we got a 4-gamer tonight. We did get news before the show broke. Miles Turner officially out. The only other news, the Subaru's in with his illness. We're waiting for is OG Anunoby, and our projection team. They rarely do this. They rarely make a call on somebody being out when they are questionable, but he appears to be so highly questionable. They just rule him out. And of course, Embiid's the other one. We're waiting on him. But every one of these teams, there's 8 teams playing tonight, 4 games. They're all playing the front end of a back-to-back. There are 15 games tomorrow. I saw DKS got 14 in their main slate, so I'm guessing they're all within like 9 o'clock or so. But buckle up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big boy slate for sure. But 4-gamer tonight, Bobby. We got 40 minutes. What's up, Kirkwood?
I got to do a show tomorrow night. I got crunch time on a 15-gamer.
Get excited.
Get excited.
Get excited. Woo!
You're going to have to cut down your Facebook time and, start preparing for,
Eric Johnson in chat said Facebook is for stalkers.
Nah, first of all, Eric Johnson is the most likely to be a stalker out of anyone in the chat right now. And that's not, you got to be honest here. Like, I think everyone can agree to that. Let's have a poll.
Let's not make that poll. Let's not.
No?
Let's not make these allegations.
Anyway, but Facebook is fine. You got to find out who has kids, and when they have kids, and you got to find out who died.
And your random friend you talk to once a year has got to wish you happy birthday.
Some people are relentless, so that's what makes me feel bad about opening it up. It's like, so then I like somebody that I really care about. It's like their birthday, and I'm like, okay, I got to wish them happy birthday. But then there's like 4 people that are on the fringe, and you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to. It's a slippery slope. I don't want to be that guy who like wishes everybody a happy birthday every day. So it's tough. But then again, you then if they don't do it on my birthday, you look at it and you're like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean?
You don't reciprocate, you're out. Yeah, that's it. Then the next year you're off the list. I did see in chat they were talking about SimLabs. I did see Blender this morning was doing a show on SimLabs. We don't have time to get into the ins and the outs of things like that, or SimLabs versus Lineup HQ, but Blender's got you. Noon, pretty much every single day he's talking about such things.
It'll be Mondays through Wednesdays.
Okay.
And he'll be doing it for a while. Even when baseball comes, we'll show off how to use baseball as well. But right now we'll do all NBA. We'll have another one for you tomorrow.
This is for the Sims?
I actually enjoy that concept of someone like diving into Sims and basically showing you the ins and outs, because a lot of these sites, they just sell the Sim and don't tell anyone how to use them. Had this conversation with Kirkwood earlier, so it's nice that Blender is going to go on there and show everyone how to use it.
Yeah, I happened to catch it this morning, and I admittedly I don't use it enough. I've used it before, but I mostly focus on Lineup HQ, and I kind of plug in some things I want, and it works for what I want. I also don't run 150, but that's a better place, I would say, probably. And I suppose that's subjective and user decision as far as which works better for you. But getting plus EV lineups is a good place to start. And Blender is gotcha Monday through Wednesday, so do check out that show. Waiting on Embiid. If he doesn't play tonight, he won't play tomorrow. That's how that's going. The reports are like he's basically going to have to have his leg managed. They're not good, like surgery at some point. It's not great, but he is questionable tonight versus a Toronto team. That is the very first game. We'll kind of run through these game by game. We have time at the end. Certainly, I want to get questions from the chat, and certainly I want to do our best to get our favorite player position by position. On crunch time, typically you guys would go, position by position, give your rundown. But I wanted to hit every single game. Let's try to stay on track here. We got 35 minutes. The first game on the board. Big picture wise, Liz, you got anything, Kirkwood? Anything you wanted to say? Big picture as far as the slate. As of right now,
as far as the slate, but what I would like to say,
yes,
is our boy Showboat King in chat released a video of him shooting hoops the other day, and the guy was money from 3. So just wanted to shout him out there, and so maybe he's in line for a Showboat play of the day. I also want to tell the people I'm looking forward to a Butthole play of the day. So make sure Butthole, you give us your play of the day when it comes to you.
Maybe the Raptors are going to send the Raptors the video. They can use them possibly. Scout them out. But yeah, you can get them a job, get them in the league. That'll be interesting. Anything of notes as far as the slate that we should mention before we fully dive in for either one of you guys?
Well, we don't have Embiid news, right?
Yes.
Don't.
Yes, we don't have it.
Yeah, okay. And that's big. And the OG whole thing is weird. And then other than that, yeah, everything looks fine. So that's big news, and that should be dropping shortly.
Yeah. Only one game at 7:00. As of right now, I'm starting to learn doing these shows. I don't want to make a lot of lineups. I would be heavily invested, but I'm just not playing anybody in the first game just to make things easier for my life, for my lineups. Not that anybody cares about my lineups, but there you go. I don't think there's anybody absolutely need. Is basically the.
Well, if Embiid's out, you don't think there's anyone you absolutely need from the first game?
He's gonna play. He's in.
Oh, he's in.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
And in theory, Embiid.
So now that kind of hurts Mogbo a little bit, I'd say.
And Toronto is such a terrible rebounding team when they lose Pirtle. They're so bad. And if you look at the other guys, it makes sense. Mogbo, Boucher, Robinson, they just signed. They don't have a lot of size there. It's just that if we were getting old Embiid, I would love him here. And I'm not saying you can't play him. But it's just he's not the guy.
Yeah, he sucks. So he ruined my birthday. On Friday night, when he was in, when they ruled Cade out, I hammered the money line of just the 76ers, thinking that they should win easily. And man, Embiid was just so bad, and that set off a spiral of events that ended up being a horrible weekend.
He is averaging 1.41 fantasy points per minute in the season. So he's still a really good fantasy player. Not like what he was, but still really, really, really good.
Well, he thinks that he can still do the draw foul. He can still be the foul merchant. He hasn't caught on to the fact that they're not calling the petty fouls anymore this season.
And also the minutes, we did see him shoot up to 36 that one game, which is wild. I imagine they're going to keep that in check. We got him with the 31. And like you guys said, we've seen some big games out of Maxey lately, but that subdues him a little bit. Paul George subdues him a little bit. Yabusele, of course, just seems way overpriced now. Philadelphia, Embiid's in. As far as ownership, everything was under the assumption that Embiid is playing. So we really had nobody terribly popular on the Philadelphia side. The only one that's even close to 10% is Embiid at 10%. Oubre at 8%. But these guys feel a little bit overpriced. It's a 4-game slate. Of course, they can overcome it. But, Bobby, what do you got? More popular side is Toronto, where I don't, quickly, we have him up to 30 minutes now. They've kind of ramped him up slowly. He did get to 30 last time. And he's popping pretty hard, about 30%, like Baji and Dick, these kind of fringe guys that are cheap, and we don't have great cheap plays in the slate. You're going to get around 20 fantasy points for, give or take. nothing feels like I have to have it. It's sort of my conclusion. You tell me, Bobby, how do you feel about Toronto and Philly?
Well, Quickly, for example, I think Quickly is just a super strong play. He'd be one of those players that I would have a little fear fading in the first game. He's just been playing really well. Good point per minute. I like Quickly. Grady Dick is another one on a 4-game slate. Like I'm going to have interest in. Good matchup versus the Sixers. They're giving up a bunch of threes. Should be pretty good for Grady Dick. Sorry. And then Scotty Barnes, like I said, 4-game slate on the Raptors side. I think they're like, who are they going to use to guard him? Oubre? I don't know. Like Scotty Barnes would be someone I think you're going to get at maybe lower ownership in the context of this slate. And I don't hate him. On the Philly side, I thought Embiid was going to play. Currently getting 24% Embiid. I don't love it though, just because of basically kind of what we just talked about, just how, I don't know, like he didn't play good Friday night versus Detroit. He's been injured all year. Like I think I'd rather play other guys. I know you talked about his fantasy point per minute being fantastic. I think the better play on the Sixers is Maxey. Like we're not going to get a ton of ownership on Maxey. Yeah, and I just think it's a really good spot for him at low ownership. So Maxey, I think, would be my favorite 76er.
The first clue is scrolling for Fleet Tuesday. The second clue is 10. So champion and 10 are your first two clues. We want to get a winner. Hopefully we don't get it all the way up to the bell. So we're going to kind of push that hard and get a winner in the next 20 minutes or so. We want to say the last at least 5 minutes for some questions, a little Q&A. Get your questions in the Discord. And, of course, tell us who we're talking about. Oh, there you go. That was quick. We actually do have a winner. That was very, very quick. All right. We'll discuss that later on. Shout out to T. Carter in the chat. Wow. There you go. Well done. Okay. Kirkwood, your thoughts? Toronto, Philly?
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting. I don't want to play much from this game. It's projected to be the least competitive. It's at the lowest total. Is that correct? I think that's what I saw before. Yeah. Also, Embiid, and I think Embiid, as much as I hate him, he's probably the play. They don't have anything, in the front court without Pirtle. So this should be a really good matchup for him. Should be able to do whatever he wants. Thing is, it's how many Shirley Temples did he have for the Super Bowl the other night? I don't know. So you can play him. I think Scotty Barnes is probably my next favorite. Obviously, for some value on this slate, you couldn't get to like Grady Dick or Mogbo. Mogbo could be in trouble here, could foul trouble, but they're going to need him.
He is starting officially.
Yeah, they don't have much. They have what? Boucher behind.
Yeah, there's Orlando Robinson. They gave a contract to. Yeah, there's not much there.
Yeah. So, it's making me like Embiid more and more. Maxey's probably the other. And Maxey's like the same play, whether Embiid plays or not, as far as ratings go. So, I think he's still a fine play. But, yeah, I'm probably waiting for some better spots later.
Yeah, you said Embiid can do whatever he wants. I think whatever he can do. If he can get, I know wants and can, two different things. I do think it's an interesting spot for tournaments if he's going to be around 10%. And I understand why you wouldn't want to play him, but it's a really good spot in theory. And I don't mind the quickly call. This Philly defense is not scaring me in any way. Getting the 30 minutes. So maybe they give an extra minute or two and rest them tomorrow. Who knows? Again, every one of these teams are playing the front half of a back-to-back. Anything else here as far as Toronto and Philly, or shall we move on?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay. New York, Indiana. This is the first half of the TNT doubleheader. 240.5. That is the total. It's a big boy total for sure. And it's high and tight, right? Because the Pacers are just 3-point dogs here. At home, this is a revenge game because Indiana and New York, they met in the playoffs last year. We don't officially have Anunoby ruled out, But again, our projections, they're making a bold call. They rarely do this, but they feel very strongly he's not going to play. There was a report that he wasn't going to play, not a report from New York, but some legit, was it Lisa Salters, I want to say? Several people reported that he's probably going to be gone until after the All-Star break. I don't know why New York won't roll him out, but also New York does some weird things, and maybe he plays, but it does seem highly unlikely.
I don't think they're very confident anymore. I think they were very confident, and then that whole game time decision thing came out, and now everyone's on edge a little bit. That's what I picked up in the.
Okay,
I have Anunoby at 14% to play. Dean, you could do Mr. Predicto, but I would say he doesn't play.
Well, you're saying there's a 14% chance he plays.
14% chance he plays. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe Mr. Predicto knows. I'm not sure. He had a rough day the other day. He's got some redemption. 60% of the time he's right every time, but can't be right every time. We are expecting Achua to draw the start. We did see Achua get benched in the second half last game, for what it's worth. Wasn't playing well. McBride jumped in there for the second half. The other thing is, of course, Miles Turner. Miles Turner's out, so we're expecting Thomas Bryant to jump in there. Thomas Bryant would become relevant, as will Obi Toppin backing up Bryant. Anybody else of note as far as injuries? Not really. Yeah, Mitch Robb seems to be getting closer. Josh Hart officially probable. But I'll let you start us off here, Kirk Dees. New York, Indiana, first half of the TNT doubleheader. This game to me is it's much more appealing than the last one. And not that you have to choose between those two, but I like more pieces here. What say you?
Yeah, this is a good game, especially now that Miles Turner is out. That obviously opens up some value here, and also Thomas Bryant, for sometimes he's pretty good as a fantasy point producer. I know he let us down recently, but and now his minutes haven't been as strong as what we thought they would be. But he should play a bunch, and he is a soft defender. So that would open up Cat.
Oh, yeah.
That opens up Cat to be an awesome play. Brunson is also an awesome play, right? We're waiting on OG, which is going to make the other plays like Hart and Precious Achua would become in play. We're waiting on Obi Toppin, little revenge, plus Turner out, little extra minutes. So I could see that working. But yeah, I like a lot. I like Halliburton too as on the other side. So yeah, there's a lot to like in this game.
Cat is the best fantasy point minute player on the slates. 1.51 projected to play 37 minutes. No Turner. Bryant not known for his defense, obviously. I assume we're splitting the 48 with. Let me see as far as the minutes with Bryant. 25 for Bryant. Yeah, Obi's getting 23. That makes a lot of sense. Do you have a lean amongst those two, a preference? You wouldn't play more than one, right? I think you capped it. But Bryant versus Toppin, who do you prefer?
I'm going to go with Bryant.
Bobby, your thoughts, if you can answer that question and just give me your
I might have to give up my revenge card then.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Bryant's played for a handful of teams. I don't think he's played for New York. Washington, Miami. There's another team I'm missing that I think he actually got some good run on. But, the Lakers, cup of coffee. Bobby, Obi versus Bryant, and just your general thoughts of New York versus the Pacers.
Yeah, it would probably be Obi for me. Yeah, 4,400. I think I'd prefer Obi. Probably whoever is starting, really. But right now I have more Obi. Highest owned player is Jalen Brunson currently, or highest owned stud that I have, and I don't love it because I don't think it's the greatest matchup. I'm getting a lot of Towns. Well, more Towns than less Towns than I was earlier. I was getting a lot of Towns. I like Towns in the spot. Just wondering about. I know he had the hand injury, but you're taking out Turner. Like they're just going to have problems with Towns. And you talked about him being the highest fantasy point per minute player on the slate. I think it's a good spot for him. Another guy I like a really good bit is Josh Hart. Indy struggles with wings. I don't play Josh Hart enough for some reason. And it's really, really a flaw in how I play NBA DFS, and I'm definitely trying to get overweight on him tonight. Yeah. And then Achua, I think I like some of these other values better than Achua. Like a Baji, I would be actually, you know what? I don't know. I do. Precious and Toppin and Bryant, like, do you guys have a feel on ranking them? I guess because Toppin and Bryant, they're going to split, right? So Achua would probably be a better play than the two of them.
Yeah, and again, the Precious thing is very much reliant upon OG being out, and we're assuming he's out. If OG's in, then Precious would get a boot to the bench and would be really, really fringy at best.
So yeah, I'm boosting Precious, so I get more Precious. I think, like, if Toppin and Bryant, it was just one of them, if they weren't like splitting, then I'd probably like one of them more, but they are, so it's going to be Precious for me ahead of both of
them. Let's see. I don't know. Eric's asking me if Brunson's a stud. Yeah, of course Brunson's a stud. Yeah, Brunson's awesome. 1.22 fantasy points per minute on DK, and just a good player in general. Yeah, one of the better free agent signings we've seen the last couple seasons. Anything else of note here as far as, and again, understand, Precious might get the boot. And then McBride would have at least an opportunity, or his opportunity would get enhanced if we happen to lose OG. But that's where we're projecting as far as the starting lineup. Bobby, you were talking about the starter for Indiana. We're assuming it's going to be Bryant. That's who it has been. So that's probably going to be how it is going forward. Did I want you guys talk about Pascal? I think Pascal is a little bit too cheap in the absence of Turner as well. Like him a good bit. He's one of my favorites. Big spends. I don't know if you want to call him a stud or not, but on the fringes. Kirkwood, you got a thought as far as Pascal or anything else in this game, or shall we move on?
I think Pascal is going to be the player that draws the toughest defense on the opposing team. I think whether if OG plays or Bridges, they'll probably hang on to him. So my favorite, I think he's fine, but my favorite play is Halliburton.
Okay. Yeah. I never really get to Halliburton, and I like him. It's just he's so up and down, and he has those games where he just doesn't score, which is not ideal.
I know it. I've been there.
For players that are like 9K, it's like it'd be nice if you score every once in a while. There's only so many assists you can rack up. Okay, we got 2 more games to go. I see the third clue is scrolling. We're playing it out.
One thing, I think Nembhard and Miles McBride are also in play, just because it's a 4-game slate.
4-gamer.
Yeah.
How many lineups you got to make, Bobby? If all of a sudden those guys get interesting, are they even like a 3-entry?
I have 23% Nembhard and 21% Miles McBride currently.
Okay.
I'm expecting OG to sit.
That seems to be the likelihood, but you never know.
The whole thing is weird. Like, he was supposed to be out to like All-Star.
Correct.
They're not going to just play him tonight. All right, if they do.
It would seem to be a bad idea, but we're not there. We're not privy to the medicals, but on the outside looking in, it doesn't make a lot of sense that he would be playing.
Well, I said I had him at 14%, Dean, to play. So,
yeah.
Mr. Predicto.
I'm curious. How did you come to that number?
Bring it out. What does Mr. Predicto say, Dean?
Mr. Predicto.
The battery's dead because you left it on for 3 days?
Well, no. Hold on a second. It's will OG and Anunoby play basketball this evening?
I prefer is Eric Johnson a stalker, but Mr. Predicto.
Well, Mr. Predicto said yes, so I think I'm just going to.
It's been a bad run for Mr. Predicto after the Cade run out the other night.
He's due.
No.
I think we just got to try. We got to ask the 8-ball too. That's more reliable, but doesn't talk.
Oh, now you're typical DFS tout.
You got to change it up. I got to go with what works. The Pistons are taking on the Bulls. This would have been a great game in like 1986. 237 is the total. The Bulls are 4-point dogs here. Who's in? Who's out? Lonzo is out. Dosunmu in. As far as Detroit, nothing new. Jaden Ivey's been out. He's still out. That's just the way it is. Bobby, where are we going with the Pistons and the Bulls? Cunningham, one of the best big spends on this slate. Buzelis has been coming on a little bit as a potential cheapie. Jalen Duren looks pretty good at center these days. We know we love centers. We love bigs against Chicago, especially on the inside. How do you feel about the Pistons and the Bulls?
So I'm never one to toot my own horn, Dean, like some other people on the show. Dean.
Dean. Like me? Come on.
No, not you. Not you. The guy in the middle. The guy in the middle.
Beetlejuice there, yeah.
Yeah, he.
I assure you, I know a small head.
He said Austin Thompson on Friday was.
He's got tiny hands. There's rumors going around he can't palm a tennis ball. That's what people are saying. I don't know.
I can palm an 8-ball.
Bobby can too. Bobby can too.
Yeah.
So, I think there's an underlying joke there. Yeah. So, anyways, I said Oscar Thompson was a great play on Friday slate, and Dean poo-pooed me. Oh. And he was a great play on Friday slate because Cade sat. I thought Cade was going to sit. I gave him a 46% chance, I think it was, to play, and it was under 50%, and he ended up sitting. So, yeah, I think Oscar Thompson was a great play and a great call. I just wanted to throw that out there, and it was my call. So
he played 23 minutes, and he was 7 of 9, and we all saw that coming. Continue.
Yeah. So I really like Cade. He's just really good at the basketball stuff. So we'll just keep playing Cade. Fine with him. I think he's probably one of the top spends for me. The issue is I keep getting Brunson. I don't know why. I think I should be getting more Cade. So I'm going to just force Cade.
But they're both awesome.
They're both good.
Yeah, they're both awesome. I just think Brunson is a tougher matchup. I prefer to get Cade's been on fire. Like, it's tough to get away from Cade. Jalen Duren, he's had a resurgence. Bulls don't have any rim defense, so I like him a good bit. Vooch on the Bulls side, the other center, hasn't been great. Like, can't sugarcoat it. But I think that with all these guys leaving, it should benefit Vooch eventually. So I think he's a fine option on the Bulls side. And then Matas Buzelis. He's starting to really show out.
You want to know what his nickname is?
I didn't know he had a nickname, but
official nickname, Buzz Lightyear.
I like it. Yeah. So I think he's a fine play as well. And those are the main pieces from this game that I'm targeting. And I guess you can go to Oscar Thompson and like large field stuff because he's a Thompson brother, right? He's Amon's brother. He's not as talented as Amon, but he's not a bad player. So I don't mind him if he hits some of your stuff.
So according to the interwebs, Stacey King, who's the color analyst for Chicago, he's praying mantis is what they call him, Buzelis, and also Lil Buzzy Vert. I've not heard that one. Lord King Guru says that in the chat as well, unless he went on the AI as well. But yeah, that's
I think that's a Chicago thing because the rapper Lil Uzi Vert is from Chicago. I'm pretty positive.
Silly me.
He doesn't know. Bobby and Dean, what were your thoughts of the halftime show?
It's good. I enjoyed it.
Dude, it was the easiest play of all time. Lil Wayne's coming out with the Carter 6. The Carter 3 might be the best rap album, generational. It probably my favorite. I just don't understand how Lil Wayne wasn't in there. You could have like there's so many New Orleans rappers. They had to make it a thing about like Drake and Kendrick that like no one even knows about. Like, I don't know. Well, people know about it. I don't know. Just put we're talking about the greatest rapper alive is from New Orleans. You just put him out there, you know?
Greatest rapper alive?
He's
good. He's got a sick verse on his new stuff I was listening to where he was talking about painting with their blood on the wall, like
Tweaker on Jello.
Make it a war.
We do have this is an interesting conversation. We got 13 minutes to lock, so if we a little post lock conversation, we could put a bow on this. But I do want to knock out Detroit, Chicago, Memphis, Phoenix, and if you have any questions from chat as well. We are scrolling our Tuesday, Fleet Tuesday, but thankfully someone already got the answer. So we gave out a week free of RG Premium, but if you guys are playing the home version, we have the clues dropping just for funsies if you're not aware of the answer just yet. Detroit, Chicago, Kirkwood. Yeah, ownership-wise, a lot of guys in the 20s, some popular plays. Again, ownership condenses on a 4-gamer. Cunningham around 28%, Duran 25%, Buzelis, the cheapie for Chicago, 20%, Tasumu, a little bit more, but still one of the cheaper guards at 20%, Vuk 17, White 16, Assar at 15. I like Assar as well. I know Bobby was talking about him tonight. Love the Thompson twins. Your thoughts, Kirkwood, Detroit and the Bulls.
Yeah, love Cade. I would want to play Vooch, but man, with like him being the last like veteran type guy out there, like how much is he really going to give to this squad? And I would much rather Duran like absolutely abuse them for like I think he went for like close to 50 fantasy points in his last time against them, and you're getting $1,200 cheaper. So I would just go Duran. I love him. I think you can play Josh Giddey. I think you can play Buzz Lightyear. Kobe White, sure. Yeah, and I wouldn't stretch too far. I guess the one, 3,400 Kevin Huerter with the chance to get more minutes. Someone in chat talked about it too. He said he's a Bulls insider, like a homer. And
he's getting some minutes.
He said Kevin Huerter. Yeah, so like why not? Like
why not? He's been terrible this year.
Yeah, I know, but he's like this is on a 4-gamer. He's like if he gets hot and he gets minutes, he's the type of guy that could like win you the slate.
Wait, who was it?
Kevin Huerter, Red Velvet.
Red Velvet, yeah.
But like he was a DMP CD in his last days in Sacramento, and I guess he's got a chance.
Steve Jones, the Bulls insider.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been bad, but he's going to have some opportunity for 15 or 20 minutes depending on. But all right, let's knock out this last game. We do have get your questions into the Discord. We're going to prioritize Discord over YouTube. Feel free to start loading those up now. We want to knock out as many as possible. The last game, the back half of the TNT doubleheader, it is Memphis taking on Phoenix. KD Durant needs, I believe, 26 points to amass 30,000 career points. So there you go. I don't know what the books have him at as far as a prop up. It's probably right there just for funsies. 246 is the total, and Memphis is a 6-point favorite, 5-point favorite. So it is very high. The biggest total on the board. It is pretty tight as well as far as who's in and who's out. Phoenix is still without Bradley Beal. Grayson Allen is officially available, or probable, I should say, with his knee. Zach Edey is available. Bagley is out for Memphis. Not really sure I'm reading that one. But, Memphis is so tricky because they can still run 11, 12 guys. Phoenix is without Beal, so that's why you're seeing Grayson Allen projected to be in the starting lineup, looking like a pretty good value play, at least, math-wise. I'll throw this to you, Bobby. The Grizz and the Suns, how we feeling?
Yeah. So Kevin Durant is someone I have a lot of interest in. Currently getting 63%. I just think he's a good play on the slate. From a tournament perspective, I don't think people are paying up for necessarily a guy like Durant. It's not even paying up. He's like at 9K. I know he's getting Triple J defense. I don't really care. I think KD is a really good play, and he's probably my favorite on the Suns. Then Desmond Bane. I don't know. I have a rough time picking when Desmond Bane's going to go off, but I like him tonight on the 4-gamer, so fine with that. Nick Richards at 5,100. I don't hate versus Memphis. He just came over in that trade, and yeah, fine going to him. Tyus Jones, 4,800. Is Tyus someone? Tyus, like at that price tag, I don't think is terrible. Royce O'Neal at 5K on the Suns. It makes you want to throw up in your mouth, but it's a 4-game slate, so I think do it. Yeah. Outside of that, like I'm not really this. I think Chop used the word enthralled yesterday on the show.
Yeah,
and I don't really love this game. That's where I'm at.
24% for Grayson Allen, currently the most popular play in this game. 20% for KD. Tyus Jones, you mentioned 20%. Bane around 17. Ja around 17. That's on DK. He is a better play on FanDuel where he is cheaper, Triple J around 15%. Kirkwood, your thoughts? And if you want to work in your tiny hands play of the day or any other gimmicks you have, fire them off because we only have a few minutes. I want to get to some questions in chat.
Yeah, it's tough to find a tiny hands play of the day. My favorite play tonight and in this game is Ja Morant on national TV. He played 36 minutes the other night, and everyone's on a back-to-back, but maybe they rest him tomorrow. And if that's the case, Phoenix's defense has just been horrendous. They've fallen down to 25th defensive rating. They also have no rim protection, really. Like Bol is soft, to say the least. So
soft.
I think Ja is just going to take over. So I bet all the overs on Ja Morant tonight, and I'm expecting a big game. The next best play would be Desmond Bane, like Bobby liked, in my opinion, and then I also like Santi Aldama. I think Edey's going to get run off the floor because I think that they're going to have Phoenix. Their only chance is they're going to have to go small.
Yeah,
and Memphis will have no problem doing that. So I think Santi Aldama gets a lot of run tonight. So I think he's a sneaky play. And then Durant would be Durant or Booker are always the guy, without Beal.
I'm getting a ton of Durant for what it's worth. I don't know why.
I don't think that's a problem. I think that's fine. Who are you not getting amongst the stars? Like, who are you getting less in the field?
Embiid, I'm not getting a ton. I'm getting like 14% Embiid. What's Embiid? What do we have Embiid at?
Last I saw was around 10%. OG, by the way, officially out. So shout out to the projection team for calling that one and taking a stand.
I guess now I'm getting no Towns. What?
I think you're supposed to get some Towns.
Yeah. I'm flipping Durant and Towns. That's crazy. Well, maybe center, I like Duran a good bit, so that's why I'm not getting.
I like the Duran call too.
I think Kirkwood made a really good case on Duran.
Somebody, inside out.
I mean, there's no better matchup. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Kirkwood's Duran's a phenomenal play tonight.
Fast paced, terrible defense from macro and micro perspective. So somebody asked about Bull in chat. He's going to play a few minutes. He's not even 3K though. He's like 4.3 or something. It's just like, is he going to beat all those guys in the 4K? I don't think so, but whatever. If you're running 150, I guess you can. He's probably going to play 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't feel good about it personally, but let's see. Questions. So last piece on FanDuel, HW13 asking here in the Discord, Naismith or Hardaway? I'll just tell you this. Hardaway has the lowest fantasy points per minute amongst everybody playing tonight. That's not a rookie. That's like 0.55 or 0.59 or something like that. Kirkwood, Naismith, or Tim Hardaway Jr.?
That is the D. You got. How can I say Hardaway after you say that right there? So
leading the witness. 0.56 if you want to get all technical per minute.
Yeah,
it's bad.
So we're gonna change it up, and we're gonna make Hardaway the Supercuts fade play of the day, which is now going to be appropriate, and it's going to be the fade of the night.
It's so confusing. I can't keep up with all the gimmicks. Did you give a tiny hands play today? Did you say was that Ja? Who was that?
I didn't want to offend you tonight, so I
have nothing to do with the tiny hands play.
Well, rumor is you've got tiny hands, Dean. I don't know.
You have something to do with it.
Rumor is that it's the rumor going around. People say you can't bomb a tennis ball.
So do you want to give me a different sponsor for your favorite play of the game? Favorite play this late?
I mean, it's Ja Morant.
Okay. What about
all
Naismith?
Things considered?
Bobby,
I like Naismith.
Naismith versus Herter. D-Rock wants to know for GK tournaments. I prefer Naismith over Herter.
I prefer Naismith, yeah. And my play of the day is Kevin Durant.
Is it sponsored by anybody?
No.
Florida-based.
Yeah, it's Florida-based. The Florida man. That's who it's sponsored by.
The Villages. You know the Florida Villages?
Yes.
No, I love Florida.
I have a friend who his parents live there. It's and he hates it. He makes fun of it, but he sends me like Snapchats or like little videos of like him on the golf carts and everyone on the golf carts racing around when he goes to visit them. It's pretty funny.
Bobby, Eagles Nation, DK Core single entry. How do you feel about this for a DK Core single entry? Double spend big center, Embiid, Towns, Jones, and Dick. Do we like that start?
I would swap Embiid for Durant somewhere. I mean, not Embiid. I would swap Towns for Durant. Leave Embiid.
Achilles, this is for DK Cash. Kirkwood, DK Cash, 2v2. Pascal and Precious versus OB and KD. So Durant and OB versus Pascal and Precious. I like all four of those plays.
I guess I don't really like Pascal that much, but I guess I'd still go that way. People talking about my mom in here. I mean, all right,
That's not nice. That's not.
Hold
nice.
on. So what's
Let's keep it clean in the chats if you don't mind. We're at 7:00, by the way. You guys mind staying a couple extra minutes? Some of these questions are not necessarily relevant to the first game. So Steve O is saying this is for Kirkwood. DK tournaments, Obi Toppin or Aldama? Obi or Aldama?
Oh man. I like them both. I think they're both really strong players. I think Aldama's so sneaky that I'm just gonna say that. I think like on the four gamer that could make a huge difference.
Bobby, Blink 182, large field DK tournaments, Halliburton or Ja? Who do you prefer?
Halliburton.
I think I got most of the ones here in the Discord. If I missed you, my apologies. No, I didn't really get anything in the YouTube. Do want to say, by the way, shout out for getting the today's Fleet Tuesday.
Who was it?
The clues were Champion, 10, Jim, Japan, and Bust. They were scrolling. T. Carter got it on the second clue, which is very, very impressive. Champion. This person was a champion. 10 is significant because the biggest part of their life, most memorable thing that happened in their life, they knocked somebody out in the 10th round. Jim is another way of saying James. This event happened.
Buster Douglas.
Exactly 35 years ago today in Japan, Tokyo, Japan. And Bust is in reference to James Buster Douglas. Do you guys want to venture a guess? What were the odds? Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson. What were the odds that he was going to win that fight? Give me the number.
Tyson was the minus 4,000.
Well, just give me, flip it. Give me Douglas's odds.
Douglas plus 400.
He was a plus 1,600.
Well, no, he was 42-1.
Wow.
He paid 42-1, which is just that's how outrageous.
Little Kirk bet on Evander Holyfield the night.
The ear.
I bet on Tyson the ear, and I was so upset. Like that he had to qualify. I was so mad.
How old were you?
That was little tiny Kirk.
He was 3 years old.
I was gambling so young. My uncle got me into gambling so young. I have a lot of stories like that. I had a bookie, and I had my own bookie. Honest to God, in 5th grade.
I'm just surprised you weren't the bookie. I thought you were the bookie.
No, what am I going to do? How's little Kirk going to do? I was a baseball card dealer. I had to go to my show. That's where I met
I was too.
That's where I met. That's where the scumbags offered their services to me. Oh, I know.
Well, they know where to go. They found a live one on you. All right. I think we did all the things that we did the best we could do in the 45 minutes that we had. And yeah, the first game has already been locked. I'm not stressing because I just did not play anybody in that first game, and hopefully nobody plays good basketball in that first contest. Bobby, you gave your official play today. Is that correct?
It's Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Is he going to – so I guess you think he's going to get the 30,000? He needs 26 to get the 30,000.
I think he gets it tonight.
All right. Back half of the TNT doubleheader. Do want to ask you guys on your way out to hit that like button and subscribe and turn on those notifications. Of course, tomorrow will be on 5 o'clock on the East Coast, and it's going to be a big boy slate for sure. 14 gamer. There's 15 teams playing. Is Quickly really 60%? Good Lord. Oh, we got to fade some Quickly. That's What contest is that, Steve? Is that single entry or is that like a large field? That seems like a massive number. All right. Hopefully Quickly doesn't have a big game, at least for me. That's it.
I have a lot of Quickly, Dean.
Well, I mean, are we pulling our money together? How is this working?
54% Quickly. I don't need your bad juju.
You're under the field.
Yeah, it's still a lot of Quickly, though.
That is a lot of Quickly. I liked him too, but I just didn't want to mess with the first game. Okay. Kirkwood, producer Steve, Bobby Gomes, we do appreciate y'all jumping in here, hanging out with us. Do join us tomorrow night. Buckle up. It's a big gamer. We're out of here.